This. Why is the screen sideways? Well, I guess we're gonna have to go sideways. Boy, I tell you. All right. So, hi Irma, how are you? Were you the faithful one here waiting for me? I am in my private mobile office today. You can see with my bucket back here where I was going to put all my fish and I got nothing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. We'll do it this way. See how it goes. I've never had any luck doing the landscape view of this. But let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see how this looks. Ah, that's pretty huge. Trinity, how are you, my man? What's going on? What's going on? I got a notification this time, she says. So I went on my computer. I went and set up a live, right, for 7 p.m. Okay, awesome, fantastic. I I don't like to do the landscape format because I feel like now it's just like YouTube doesn't like that for some reason. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. And then it's going to be weird because now I'm going to have to look at the left side of my phone instead of looking straight into it. So yeah, there goes that. I wish that the format can be changed even while you already started a live. So I have been I've been busy all day. I went and tried to catch some fish, but I got nothing. And what I mean by went and catch fish, that was yesterday. Today I got my buckets, I got everything ready to go, and yeah, I caught nothing. All I caught was some headache from watching some videos that I thought were just ridiculous. Give me 1 second here. I am going to have to improvise because this is not the format that I wanted to do. The reason for that is because I'm getting, chats, right? So I want to make sure that I take a look at that. Cray, Mississippi, how are you? Cray is in the house. And Irma says, hi, Kay. I want to start off by number one, guys. Trinity, just so you know, to all of those who are my members, by the way, I told you guys, love you for the support. Thank you and stuff for being a member and being part of my team. I was going to send a video. I never got around to editing. I thought it was too corny. And so I was going to send it just to members only, letting you know stuff about I want every chat to come in, okay? And I don't want to have any filters. So what I want to ask is for people to try to be understanding that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be saying a lot of nasty stuff probably. I've been watching podcasts and I've seen other creators as well that are going through the same thing. There's nasty comments coming through. It's unbelievable. But if we really want to practice our freedom of speech, I think we have to put up with some of that stuff. Again, Trinity, you already know what's going down. I don't like any racist stuff. Not acceptable. I did put a filter on some certain words, so hopefully that does the trick. All right, let's see what's going on, Rue. Trump's getting a kidney transplant. Man, my cousin went through that. One of my cousins went through a kidney transplant. Turns out he didn't need it. He just had some really bad gas. And, it's what happens when he complains too much. So, yeah. Let's see. Nasty is everywhere. Just ignore them. 100%. The bruise on his hand is from getting kidney dialysis. You know, I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi is also, except she has a Band-Aid on her hand. Does anybody know what's going on with that? I don't go look at other politicians that I don't agree with to see what's wrong with them physically. I mean, obviously mentally, right? But I don't go take looking into that kind of stuff for them. Okay, so I hope, and, I'll tell you this: if President Donald Trump is getting some dialysis treatment, this is what happens when you drink too many Diet Cokes. You want to drink too many Diet Cokes, there's still sugar in it. I don't care what nobody says. There's got to be some sugar in there. Yep, no racism, spams, or threats. Absolutely. Let the rest fly. Absolutely. We'll have to tell our mud squad. You got it. 100%. We'll see if Miguel jumps in the house. What the hell is on my foot? Sorry, guys. There might be a snake in this car. Hold on. Oh no, it's just a brush. Just a brush. The wifey leaving. Damn. We have an earthquake. Earthquake. If you're asking the reason why I am in my mobile office, I blame my sister-in-law. We live together in the house. And they have this big ass speaker. Now, you know that when somebody uses the word as behind another word, it's huge. It's got a lot of meaning behind it. So it's not a big speaker, it's a big ass speaker. Everybody says a lizard. Man, it's starting to get cold, by the way. It's probably going to get hot in this mug, actually. I don't have the car running today. I did want to thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm indoors and I do have a wireless mic on. Hopefully, that does make a difference. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't do much of a difference. Let me see here. What do we got? No, I don't want that. No. Wait, there's a retouching here to make me look good. Let's take a look. Let's see. Hey, look at that, guys. I look a little bit younger now. All right. Yeah, we're going to use that filter. We're going to use that filter. I tell you that right now. All right, so let's say lizard on the foot. The sound is great. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that, the feedback. I want to start off with saying, I don't know how many people are going to watch this live. The live that I did earlier on the desktop, we got about 52 views, guys. 52 instead of 52,000. Whatever the algorithm is, maybe I'm just getting worse at doing my YouTube. Maybe the content is not what people want. I know that a lot of people want me to sell my soul to the devil and do a lot of controversial stuff so that I can get subscribers. But that's not what the channel's about. And if I ever, thank you, sweetheart, I appreciate it. Irma, stop hitting on me. I'm a married man. Knock it off. Stop it. Come on, stop it. Don't stop complimenting me too much. But if there is in the future that we're going to have some sponsors in here, I got a couple of things that you guys need to know. Here, I'll give you an example of why I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you, okay? Let me see. I'm your grandmother. All right, okay. Yes, thank you. I miss my grandmother very much, and you are a grandmother. And so if you offer to be my grandmother, I'll take it. All right, I'll take it. Thank you so much. And with that, I'll give you a warm hug from here, all the way from Washington State. She said, that's crazy. YouTube wants the vertical lives. I don't know. That's what they're pushing now. I don't know why. I don't know either. I really don't know. So I don't want to restart the live. I mean, I could restart the live. It is very few of us on here right now. But then, you know what? Forget about it. We're going to do with what we got. And if people are going to get on, hopefully other subscribers that actually watch my channel will also get a notification. By the way, it is Saturday, right? It is Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Oh, well, you need hugs, and I love to give them. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I love hugging. I just said goodbye to one of my brother-in-laws. Now he's not a brother-in-law. He's actually the cousin, first cousin for my wife. And yeah, Sabbath day as well. I mean, a lot of people that are religious, they're either keeping the day or if they're at home relaxing. I mean, that's what they do, right? I mean, I really don't know what people do on the Sabbath day, to be honest. If I'm going to chill on for example, a Sabbath like day for me, I don't want to do anything. I want to play my game if I want to play my game. I want to go out to the lake. I want to go to a river. I want to go to the mountain if I want. That's a day off for me. But if I still want to watch videos, if I still want to listen to stuff, that's not work. That's actually fun for me, unless I am actually thinking about work while I'm doing those things. I want to tell you guys something. The one of the things about me, and you guys already know, I always tell people I'm not a sales guy. I'm not a sales guy. But for some reason, when I worked for Comcast, I was the number one sales guy in the call center. I don't know why. I don't know why. And the funniest thing is that it's not even a sales call center. It was a technical support, a repair and billing call center. This was back then when we used to do everything. Now we got a bunch of softies that don't like to work. When I worked for Comcast, I worked in Comcast since I think it was September 2000. From September 2000, it used to be called AT&T Broadband, and then it became Comcast. They added me as a technical support for video, right? So meaning analog boxes, digital boxes, they just started introducing. And then they said they wanted to add some internet service, some high-speed internet service. And I was like, well, hey, you know what? Sign me up. And then we had a bilingual line. So I was like, hey, I speak Spanish. Sign me up. And so every service, everything that they will offer, I always volunteer. I wanted to learn. I wanted to do something. And so every time I did something different, there was $1 added to my pay. So just imagine, they hired us, I think, what was it? Back then it was at $10.25 an hour. And then I was bilingual, so it was $11.25. And then they gave me another dollar because I took the graveyard shift. They gave me $1.50 for that. And let's see, that's $12.50. And then they added internet, that's $13.50. And then they ended up adding phone service. Not here in Washington. Back in Cali was some of the first areas. And you know what? I took the phone service. And then, of course, I was doing billing. And, so I was with them for 9 years. I was up to almost $19 an hour in 2009 when I left them. And yes, Boeing has always paid a lot better. But for some reason, I was never able to get hired by Boeing. I don't know. I never got called. Maybe my resume sucks. But the point is, I'm not a sales guy. And the reason why I tell you that is because if I ever try to say anything to offer you something on this channel, it's not going to be something that I don't believe in. And so who knows? Maybe I'll never get a sponsor. But it has to be something that I believe in order for me to jump on that. All right. So today's story, guys, I'm going to start off with El Salvador. I know you guys want to talk about January 6, 2021 and 2016 Trinity. They love your accent. Who loves my accent? YouTube wants to be more like TikTok and Instagram. Maybe they do. Let's see. Holiday to read devotionals and concentrate more on God. You got a point there. And because you said that, Irma, I'm going to do something, okay? I'm going to read you Romans 1, chapter 1. Let me see if I can get something in here. I don't have my Bible with me, but it is going to be related. So, oh, Comcast customers. Yeah, there was a lot of flirting over the phone, but that's because they couldn't see my face. So there you go. My Japanese friend retired from Boeing, says Irma. You know, my brother-in-law, my oldest sister husband, the one that's been married for 40 something years. He worked for Boeing. He was close to retirement with Boeing, and they laid him off. They laid him off, and you know, very sad, right? Because he was so close to getting a pension, and I think that was wrong. But you know what? It is what it is, right? Companies sometimes, big corporations, they don't care about their employees. I mean, they care while they need them and while they're using them because they have no other choice. But then after a while, when they start making all that money, they kind of forget about the little people, right? The little us. It is what it is. Let me see. Yeah, very, very, very close. Ozzy in the house. What up, man? What's going on? Man, you just missed my whole speech about sponsorships, man. It's all good. We're going to talk trash about the president from El Salvador first, so we give a chance for other people to get in here. I am in my mobile office. I have been officially kicked out of the house, so here I am. And you know what? I'm going to say something very personal. I always tell you guys to pray for me, and you know, I pray for you, all you guys. My wife is wonderful, but sometimes I feel like I don't know, like there's no way out. And sometimes I feel like I'm a bad husband because I don't know. Maybe I'm not paying attention to her the way I should. You know, I am very what do you call it? Thanks to my mom and my grandma, I'm very, what do you call those people that they're just very caressing, always huggy. And, you know, my wife is not like that. But, you know, I've learned to kind of, you know, what do you call it? Acclimate? No. Man, I used this word earlier. Not evolve, but I have learned to adjust myself, right? So I'm not like overwhelmingly, you know, hugging or kissing too much. Like I said, it's very personal. So I tell you this because, you know, when I do my lives in my car, it always reminds me of the time when I was homeless, sleeping in my car. And sometimes I feel like, you know, maybe I don't deserve the family, you know, and maybe I should just, you know, be by myself and just, you know, keep working, but without bothering them or something like that, you know. Like I feel like I'm sometimes like a pest, you know, like my family is so good, my wife and my kids are so good, and I feel sometimes like I'm failing them, you know. And it's one of those things that we always ask for prayer, right? And you know, when my wife does nice things for me, those thoughts kind of go away, but it's always, you know, in the back of my mind. So yeah. Thank you, Trinity. I know you passed the message around. Yeah, way too sweet. Yeah, Irma, but you know, I'm going to tell you something. There was I was going out with a Mexican lady. She was older than me, okay? I was going out with her, but after having so many failures on relationships, I finally thought maybe I just haven't made things clear, okay? And I said, and I think that I need to make myself clear. And so I asked this lady, right? And I said, listen, I'm getting too old. I was in my early 30s. I said, I'm getting too old. I ain't got time for games. What do you like? Here, I'll start. I said, I'm like this. I like to do this. I like to do that. This is what I want in return. And this is what I like, right? And then I said, okay, and then what is in your, you know, what do you like? And well, I want a man that's very nice, very loving. Hey, Miguel in the house, my brother. Miguel is my older brother, guys. He's one of those guys up there. And she says, I want a man that's nice, very caressing, you know, very close, and loves hugs and you know, just loves to spend time together and talk, etc., right? So I was like, whoa, I think Miguel, you're not 89 years old. I seen you. You're not 89. And I said, wow, this woman, I mean, maybe now, that I find a woman that's older than me, now I can, maybe this is it, this is it. This is the woman for me right here. She wants exactly who I am, right? This is a true story, guys, true story. And so, we were together for a while, and one time she told me I talk too much. And I was like, okay, that's okay. I get it. All right, I'll talk less. I can always adjust to a certain level, but I cannot adjust completely. Okay. Number one, I know I'm a Christian. I don't believe in the zodiac or whatever, but let's be honest. Everything they say about Geminis, it is very accurate with me. Okay. And I am a Gemini. Okay. Hey, wait your turn, Miguel. I'm in the middle of a story here, man. Stop trying to hit on Irma. And so, all right. So then she says, man, do you have to be hugging all the time? I'm telling you, I don't forget. I don't forget. And I'm like, well, hey, what happened here? We put the cards on the table. I said, we put the cards on the table. What happened? And I was like, why are you complaining about me? I thought you love hugging all the time and caressing and kissing and all this affectionate stuff. You said you wanted a romantic guy. I said, okay, I am romantic. And it was just like, oh, as they say in Spanish, empalagas, like you oversweeten things, is what she said. And I was just like, you know what? I can't take it. It breaks my heart, and I got hurt. And, I got to go somewhere else and, blah, blah, blah. So I went to a bar. And if there's one thing you guys already know, I'm not a shy person, okay? I went to the bar and I saw all these women sitting on the counter. All single women, probably, maybe married, looking for some action, whatever it was, okay? I went in there and I said, ladies, and they're laughing. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I said, let me tell you something. But before I do, I have one question for you. Bartender, whatever they want, one drink, all me, whatever they want. Oh my God, oh wow, what a gentleman, right there. Now they want to talk, right? And so they get a beer, some got whatever, they got margarita drinks, tequila shot or whatever. And I said, I just have one question for you ladies. I said, I've been this and I've been that and I've been trying to do this. Empalagoso, Irma, that's right, that's me. And don't you ever forget it. and so I said, what do women want from men? They all started laughing, and I kid you not. They laughed so hard. Like I was at some comic strip, where I was just a comedian. They laughed their heads off. Oh my God, this woman had tears down her eyes. And I'm like, what the hell is so funny? It's what I said while I'm laughing with them. And one of them says, honey, we don't even know what the hell we want. So, Irma, Trinity, sorry ladies. What can I tell you? True story. And that's why it's so funny to me. The other, hi Cheryl, welcome. Cheryl, did you get a notification by any chance? I just really think that YouTube just doesn't like the landscape, live streaming. That's pretty interesting. Pretty weird, but interesting. So, well, there you go. I've been trying all kinds of stuff. Irma says she was married for 59 years. But Irma, you lost your husband, right? I think that's what it went. Wow, 59 years. What an amazing time. Wow. 49. Wow. That's a lot. That's how many years my sister has been married. to my brother-in-law. I know, Irma. I know you have a hard time typing stuff. I get it. You should do voice to text. Maybe that will help. Voice to text. If you're in, if you're in a computer, you can use a microphone and then just type on a word pad. They have the microphone now where you can dictate, and then you can copy that and you can paste it on the chat here in YouTube. Cray Cray says, I thought El Salvador was all straightened out. Cray, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. We're going to jump in there. We're going to talk about Salvador real quick. Yep, I agree with Trinity. That is a beautiful Irma. They don't like landscape, definitely not. Right? Man, I'm telling you, it is crazy. I can guarantee you, if I go live right now on the other way, we have a lot more traffic coming in. So I'm not sure why they're doing that. I wonder if it's because they think that if you're doing a live stream, horizontally, vertically, that you have less options to show content. Yeah. She lost her husband. But you know what? She's still in here and she's fulfilling the plan that God has for her. I'm so proud of you, Irma. And thank you for being my grandmother. So from now on, you're Nana. You're my Nana. Or my abuela. You like abuela? I'll call you abuelita, okay? I'll call you abuelita from now on. Oh, man, yeah, 7 years ago. Crazy. Let's see, Cray. YouTube is pushing vertical streams, and they even have extra ways to tip on vertical streams. They want to be like TikTok. Is that right? Yeah, very, very interesting. That's very unfortunate, though, man, because I have so much fun with people, and I want to be able to show you guys videos like earlier today, right? Trinity, you were there. And I'm able to show you clips better than I can show clips on the browser. And you saw a couple of those times when I was using the browser. I mean, I know your boy. What's his name? You said it was Mark. I think you said Trinity. That he uses the vertical view on the YouTube, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why you get more views. It's not because of the channel. I'm going to tell you, I've even seen, now obviously if you're like in the millions, right, you got 3-5 million subscribers, you do see, 1,000 people, a couple, maybe 10,000 and stuff like that, right? They do get more traffic, but that's because I think they have to give you traffics, right? Graham, yes, and he gets thousands like you do. But Graham, oh, okay. Yeah, but it has to be the vertical. I don't see anything else. Yeah, everything's vertical. And I think they want to limit how much stuff you can show. If I prep videos, right? I prep videos and I can put, subtitles and all this other stuff. Like today, I just prepped a few news reports that I wanted to share, and we got 56 views total. Right now, I get it. Like once people get bored, right, with my talking, blah, 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 people will go down to 50, maybe 30 people live. But we've hit 1,000 people watching at some point, and that just doesn't happen anymore. So I'm not sure. It has to do with YouTube's algorithm. But I'm glad Omar is here with MAGA love. Man, see, look at this, Omar. Exactly, Craig. Algorithm is only pushing vertical. Omar, look where I'm at right now. Now, it's not a good look because there is a bucket over here that I was going to use to put my fish, all the fish that I was going to catch. Not one fish I caught. All right. So I'm telling you this, Omar, for a reason, okay? Now, I'm not going to give anybody advice to live in their car to save money. But I'm going to tell you what. I had to pay a lot of money for my car. It's very nice and long. If I put the seats down, you know what I'm saying? If I put the seats down, It's perfectly comfortable. It takes my whole body. I'm only 6'1", so it's long enough, and I still got room left on my feet. Okay. Um, Look, I just need a place to charge my laptop. You know what I'm saying? You can go to a Starbucks. Omar, have you heard my story from when I was homeless? What I used to do? I use my work's office. Oh, I see. Yeah, 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 yeah. My third son's name is not Luke, says Irma. I named him Brian. Good for you, Irma. Everybody wants to take all the names from the Bible. Calm down, people. Omar and Dennis already gave me this speech to let the trolls chat through unless they're racist, spamming, or threatening. And they're not even here. Absolutely. I don't know what the heck. I can't even say Buddha. Oh, man. Okay, cray. Here we go, baby. Okay, look. So, if you haven't heard my story, when I was living homeless, I was down in Los Angeles, right? First I lived in West Hollywood, which was ghetto. And Comcast call center was on North Cahuenga Boulevard in Hollywood. I slept in my car, but I was friends with the graveyard security guard. So I had a place where I can park inside the Comcast parking lot. And he knew that I was sleeping in my car. He just wouldn't tell nobody. Nobody knew, right? In the Comcast call center, I was lucky enough that they had a small gym. And they had a small shower, bathroom, like a private thing. You can lock the door. It's just you in there. So I was getting up very early, and it was my shift is in the morning, so it was fine. So I will get up very early, go inside, with my backpack or whatever. I will go in there, take a shower, I will change, get ready for work. And since I always came in there very early because there was almost nobody there because of the graveyard shift, right? I always had enough time to go and, hey, fam, y'all don't forget to hit that like. Yeah, hit that like. There's like 9 people in here. I want to see 9 likes. And so, no, I didn't park at a graveyard. That was a graveyard shift. And so I would shower, blah, blah, blah. I will go and grab some breakfast. I mean, I don't know. How do I explain it? Like, it was bad because it's not, how can I say? It's not, my mind wasn't thinking I'm free in my car. I mean, I just wasn't thinking about it. Think about it. I was in my car, and well, it was a compact car, and that's probably why I felt it the most, right? Very small car, and it was a compact, and the sleeping, it was so horrible. But in this car, oh man, I would be so comfortable. I'll tell you that right now. And so, sorry about that. You can always skip the commercials, I believe. And you know what? Next time I'll just turn that off completely so you guys don't get disrupted. But I hate that myself. But I will shower and then grab my breakfast, come back. I'll do my shift. I will work extra hours if I could, obviously, because I want to waste the time, through the day, whatever, right? And so I will work many hours. I still couldn't afford an apartment. And so I would go to the observatory. The observatory in California, they have beautiful parks. Well, they used to be back then. I don't know, probably a bunch of homeless now, but who knows? But they have beautiful parks. And I would just do whatever I could to pass time. And, I was into writing. So I was writing a lot of poems and letters and just things that I felt, and things like that. And then I would just go for long walks, downtown or certain streets in Hollywood and just kill time until it was dark enough. I had nobody to talk to. We didn't have this that we have today. Would have loved to have met somebody like me, not to toot my own horn, but somebody like me that's doing this live and that actually cares about people. You know what I mean? Because Omar, even though you haven't seen me in person, my love is yours already. It is very easy. Yes, I did a lot of reading in libraries. I felt like I was a prisoner out in the open. I had to get educated, but it was more like a prisoner, so to speak. And of course, they close early, so it wasn't too bad. I wish. I'll tell you something. If I was homeless in this car that I have right now, and the mentality that I have right now, because right now you might be thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, it's so depressing. It's so crazy," and it can be at some point. Um, Thank you, Omar. Uh, it's not easy. And you know what? 7 months, almost 7 months. I'm not gonna lie, almost 7 months. I had to be in my car, and you know, man, I see. Look at this. I know all the sayings. I know all the wise things to say and all this stuff, right? But the saying of, look at the cup, right? Are you looking at the half full or half empty glass? And and I think that I always saw it as a half empty glass, but with no hope of refilling it with anything. And instead of doing something positive when I was sleeping in my car, I could have been like, hey, listen, I can't afford an apartment, but I own the car, right? The car was mine. Think about it. All I gotta do is put gas. I could have a membership at a gym, which I did, and it was so much better, way much better. Okay, and because at the gym, I paid. It was my right to go in there, work out, shower, swim. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I was working out twice a day because now I got time, and now I don't have to rush myself from the gym. And so I pay like $39 a month, I think it was, down in LA. And I was even able to buy me those little fruit drinks, that give you energy and help you recover muscle, whatever. And so if I would have thought the way that I think today, you have to understand, Omar, wisdom doesn't come to us but with time. There is people that, of course, have wisdom, immense wisdom, at a very young age. And unfortunately, when you're going down through some really hard times, it's not easy to see it. But if by no choice on the way, okay, I want you to keep searching for the right place to be. And then right now, you don't have to pay, but you're working. Save the money. Save the money. Even when you have enough to pay for 3 months, forget about it. Just keep working. Keep saving the money. You know what? Buy yourself some nice clothes. It doesn't matter if you're in the car. Buy yourself some nice clothes. You know what? There's laundromats. Beautiful thing about laundromats. You take all of your clothes, you go in there, you wash it, you dry it, and you get to fold it while the next load is coming out. You fold it, all your clothes is neat. I can make an apartment in my car. And of course, I have it's not like a big, huge, it's a 3-row, but the third row doesn't leave you much space in the back. So it's not that big, okay? But it's big enough because you can move the seats forward, and then you can lay down both 4 seats. And, you can have you can even build a small little shelf or whatever, right? And you can fold your clothes and put it in there. You can pimp out your ride, you know what I'm saying? But you can save a lot of money. Let me see. Dennis, I love you, Pussy. Like, how? It's not easy. And we do love you, Omar. I never heard your voice, but your family here. Amen. And that's true, brother. That's true. That is something that other people that don't believe in God will ever understand. Or maybe they do, right? Let me see. Ooh, I saw Toyota somewhere, but I don't see it on my chat down here. So the chat on here kind of disappeared. Let's see. Irma says she has a Toyota Sienna. Document immigrant. No, man, there's no illegals in here right now unless you are an illegal. Man, what's going on with this chat? It's not refreshing or something. Welcome, Liberty. Let's see. I watch people on YouTube who rent storage lockers and set up. Well, for one, they can't do that. It's illegal. They cannot do that because they're squatting. Even if you're paying rent, you're paying rent for a storage to store stuff, not to live in there. And I think mainly they do that for because of fire hazards. Okay. Um, yes. Naturalized American citizen. Man, we got 10 people connected right now. This is amazing. I am really enjoying the landscape part. I lived in my car, says Ozzy, for years at a time, and I live in the Northeast. I learned the hard way not to fall asleep in the driver's seat with the vehicle running for heat in the middle of the winter. Let me guess why. I don't, I can only guess. Uh, it's very illegal to sleep in the storage, and this, as I said, is mainly because of fire hazards. If something was to be done in the storage, they can insure their buildings and all that stuff, but it's human life. You don't want to have that. So that's why it's illegal. And that's just one reason, I'm sure. Okay. Because, other than that being dangerous or being inside private property, who knows what they're going to do, right? They could be damaging somebody else's stuff in the middle of the night. They can damage cameras, etc. I mean, you think it, they will probably do it themselves. So, yeah, I slept in the drive seat last night. Yeah. I will always sleep on the passenger side because the steering wheel kind of gets in your way and the pedals and all that stuff, or in the back seat. Now, I'm too long, and it was really horrible for my back to be all scrounged up in the back. So very, very difficult. Let's see. Cops would probably think you're drunk. Yeah, they do come and knock. No room in the car right now, he says. I will say get rid of all your junk. Get rid of all that shit. You don't need anything. All you need is your hygiene stuff, your deodorant, toothbrush. If you have the membership at the gym, they got the soap, so you don't have to buy soap. Get rid of everything. And when you move into your apartment, don't do it right away. I'm telling you right now, save more than what you need. I'm telling you right now, save a lot of money. Don't just go rent when you have 3 months. Like I said, save a lot of money. And the way that I suggest that you do it, I want you to do it this way. And I felt very good when I did it myself. When I was finally able to get my own apartment, there was nothing in that apartment. The first thing that I got, and I told you a little bit of what my apartment looked like. The first thing that I got was just a mattress box, right? And then I'll put blankets on it. And then I actually got a mattress. And, that was it. That's all I need. Because I don't have to cook because I'm eating outside, right? Fast food. Sometimes I wouldn't eat to save money. But my kids never, while I was able to work, never stopped receiving child support from me, okay? Work hard and full time, and sometimes overtime. I could not work double shifts. Very difficult to get double shifts with different companies. It just doesn't work right. And then plus, you overbeat yourself, and then you start failing at one job, and then you can do the other one as well. It becomes very tough. But nonetheless, everything that you bring into that new place is going to be new to you. And it doesn't have to be brand new, but you're bringing new items into your place. Get your bed first. Then get yourself a dresser. And then get yourself a dining table. Even if it's seat for 2. Maybe seat for 4. Doesn't matter. Get your own set. If you like to cook like me, get your own set of cooking pans, right? You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You got to be that is very minimalist. You can even have one couch or a beanie bag. I don't care. You can throw that in your living room. You can have a small tray for food. You can put a laptop in there. You can put your phone there while you're eating your ramen. You know what I'm saying? When you make your mac and cheese, you know what I'm saying? You got to make it fun for yourself. But you know what? At least you're not going to be broke. You will always have money in your pocket, right? That is the goal. Because if you say, you know what, I want some ice cream today, then get yourself some ice cream. You know what I'm saying? If I want a burger, you know what? I'm going to give myself a burger. And you have to look at it that way. And don't overspend. Save money. And then when the time is right, you're going to have a nice place. You're going to meet the right girl, if you want that. You're going to meet the right girl. Maybe you get married. And then you'll never let your family go without. Because you have learned to master independence for yourself, right? Let's see. Trump got you a house. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's some hard times. All right. We're finally going to hit El Salvador. So Cray says that she thought everything was very fixed in El Salvador. Well, wait, we're still going. Hold on. My youngest had to live in a train car out in the middle of Tucson Desert. Oof. My tires had a rock knock because I over-revved it when my foot hit the accelerator while I was sleeping. Did the same thing in my Jeep. Now, when I say that I was homeless, guys, for 7 months, I mean like in my car specifically. I was able to pay rent to people, but it was not my own apartment. It was like a living room. You know what I'm saying? It was just like people letting me crash in their place. But it was still not my home. I don't know, Liberty. Let's see, because where I'm at, gas, groceries, and utilities are down. My portfolio is banging too, she says. Damn, that's what I'm talking about. I'll make a video of my car for you. My new short for Dennis of the Magamobile. Awesome. All right, looking forward to it. I want to see it. You can private, send the link to me, and I'll watch it. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think you got my number, don't you? You get my number. And then you can call me anytime. Man, how is it that we got 13 people in here and only 6 likes? What's going on? That's funny. My phone actually froze with 13 people watching, it says. There's my backup phone in here. And let's see. Same for Trinity. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if I get the okay from people to share emails, I mean, you guys are members with me. I'm assuming that you will trust the people that are in our team, or in a group per se. Not okay, no problem. I'll definitely watch them. So now let's get back to El Salvador, guys. Salvador has gone from the craziest, most violent country in the world to being the safest in the world, supposedly. Now, this is what they're saying. Now, it's good news can be good, or, it's too good to be true. But I will tell you is that everything that Nayib Bukele is doing, I agree with. Many people push back on him, and it has changed El Salvador for the better. People are doing great. People are, here's the thing. There is people that are such hard workers. They will work for like $5 a day, okay? It's not much money, right? You would think, oh, that sucks. Who the hell wants to work for $11 a day? Well, $11 a day is enough for them to live in El Salvador, okay? They don't get everything, but there's just the same people that are also farming, they're like small kind of farmers. They get their own vegetables, and then they make enough so they can go sell at the market. But the problem with gangbangers and crime was that these poor people were getting extorted by police, by gangbangers, and even though it was just $5, they wouldn't even take that home. They will take that away from them. So that was the problem, and if you think about it, like if if $5 is enough, which they make more than that, but if $5 was enough, and they make $10 a day because they're dollarized, if they make $10 a day and they actually got to keep the money, then they were able to, have food, and they will have a roof over their head, and, they can do with that. So with Nayib Bukele, he got rid of all that, right? He got rid of the crime. He got rid of all this stuff. So what I want to say about El Salvador is not that they're back to being bad, but it's so funny. It's so funny. There's a guy that is running against him for president of El Salvador. And the guy is such a loser. He is so dumb. And I don't mean to be like this mean, insulting guy. But I'm serious. The guy is a loser. There's no other way for me to put him in any other way. Like, I get it. Our people in Central America, maybe there's not enough education. There was a time where education was big, and now it's starting to go backwards, And yeah, like Biden. Like Biden. Yeah, that's right, Irma. And at least this one can actually finish a sentence. But what he says, it's so stupid. And even when he tries to say something that could be an insult or that it will actually make sense, right? That he's saying this, President Nayib Bukele has been doing so good. He's got over a 90% approval rating for the whole country. This guy goes and says, over 90% approval, and the whole country loves him. Hondurans love them. Nicaraguans love him. Guatemalans love him. I mean, there's almost a chance that he can actually make one country out of all 5 countries in Central America. As many heroes throughout history have tried, but they can't. Every country wants to be the capital. And they want to be the capital because they make more money. So a lot of the money goes to the capital, and every other country wouldn't have it. And so nobody wants to agree with that, right? But nonetheless, Nayib Bukele, we love Nayib Bukele. You guys know I love Nayib Bukele. And, he's fighting against drugs, right? Just like President Donald Trump is doing. And if you guys didn't know this, there is a deal that Nayib Bukele has made with President Donald Trump. And this is why other countries don't like him. Other Latino countries don't like Bukele. And the guy that's trying to run against him, it's saying things like, at least I won't be the guy that makes alliances with every single country they come in contact with, and they don't care about the people. I care for Salvadorian people. Shut the hell up. This guy comes in also saying, the violation of human rights. Where were you when these criminals were violating the rights of the old women working to make $5 a day? Where were you when these people's rights were being trunked? What did I say this morning on the video? I know, man, it's so sad to see the activity on the live, to be honest. I mean, this is what normal live looks like, I guess, for most people, right? But what are we seeing today in Oregon? The police are arresting the good citizens, and they are defending the criminals. Now, I don't care what Antifa believes about their group. They are terrorists. They walk around yelling to people that they're fascist. But they are the fascist. You know what I'm saying? I thought there were no term limits for the president, you mean? I think that's what you meant. That's right. And I'm just comparing it to Oregon because that's exactly what we're seeing. The corrupted people want these gangbangers, these criminals to be out of jail. Why? Oh, he put 70,000 people in jail, and he says, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as I freed millions of people from these 70,000 people in jail. And that is such a great way to look at it because it's true. And Salvador is enjoying peace. And now there's still a little bit of crime here and there. They still got to fix everything. It's not going to be all fixed up. It doesn't matter how much they try, right? There's got to be something. But he's doing something to protect his people. And the guy running against him wants those criminals from jail free, out in the open. And let me add 2 things. One, There is no term limit for the president in El Salvador. As long as the people keep voting him in, he can run as many times as he wants. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. But it can change according to the people's will. And that's how it is. I can tell you, it is a very slippery slope because Venezuela did the same thing. And look what they got today. Now, while their money was banging in Venezuela with the oil with Chavez, Chavez bankrupted that country. And then Nicolas Maduro, the president today, the illegitimate president, they finished breaking the country. They still make a lot of money, and they offer this money to children and old people to come and fight, he says, for Venezuela, but he really is just using them to defend himself. Yeah, I don't think so either, Trinity. I don't think so either. As a guanaco, let me tell you, don't compare El Salvador with Donald Trump. Well, as a guanaco, you should know that Donald Trump made a deal with Nayib Bukele, and I don't know if you missed that. But there is millions of Salvadorians that are not going to get deported because of that deal with Nayib Bukele. So, yes, criminals, they still got to go. Illegals, they still got to go. But there's millions of Salvadorians that actually got permits to stay here in the United States of America. And that is because of Trump. Okay? So you got to give some credit, buddy. You got to give some credit. I love my guanacos. You know, you guys are my brothers. You know, we're border brothers. So I love you much, but I give credit to my president Donald Trump. Guys, if you haven't given this video a like, I don't see 13 likes yet. I'm disappointed. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Tapping in and liking. He says, Thunder Loco says, but you're still gay. Well, some bitch. I love it. That's all right. You know what? I'll take an insult for a like. I'll take insults from betas anytime. Thunder Loco. I thought you were subscribed. Oh yeah. He says that he's a subscriber already. I want to say, oh man, you better subscribe, man, if you're gonna come in that way. Beta, we got beta subscribers on this place. What the hell is going on? You know what? I'm going to tell you this, honestly. All right, now we're matching 11 watching. Oh, my God, that's so sad. 11 watching, 11 likes. I'll take that. I want to tell you something. I've always thought, now, in our history, in Central America, in our history, we have a hero called Francisco Morazan. And this hero was a general, and he tried to unite Guatemala, Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica, okay? This is why we have 5 stars in the flag of Honduras. They represent each country of Central America. No Panama, just Costa Rica is the last one in the south. And let's see, you better not care if your papi Trump is paying your bills. Oh man, I wish he was paying my bills. You know what, Trinity, we should find out if I can get paid to defend President Trump. I would love to make $8,000 like these Democrats, YouTubers are doing today. That would be nice. That would be nice. And the only difference would be that I would be defending the right person. So here's something, and I don't know if you knew this, but there is a possibility. Now, all the crazy people out there, they're going to come out with some other complaint. Whatever it is. What the hell is this? Oh, that's what it is. Give sec. It's because I have my earpiece on. All right. There is a possibility that we may get a refund check of $1,000 to $2,000. No, I had an earpiece from my other phone, and I had to turn the volume down. So there's a chance, right, that we might get some money back. Now, I don't know if people got checks last time or if they got direct deposited. I think I got mine direct deposited. Remember the stimulus checks for COVID? So mine got direct deposited because that is the way that I was doing my taxes. So even if you're homeless and you have a bank account and you did direct deposit for your taxes, they will put that money into your account free. So that's right. Omar, don't you go spending it all in one place and don't get too happy. That may take a whole year before we get anything. Now, that's because of the tariffs that we have in place, the ones that the leftists just really hate having on. You know, there was a guy that came in a few lives ago. I don't know if you remember this, Trinity, or if you noticed, but I've asked the guy, but I was essential worker too, working there. Okay. This guy came in and he said he wanted to debate me, right? But he said he wanted to debate me on the economy because he knows everything about economy, he says, right? Now, I would love to have him explaining how the economy works according to his professional master's degree in the economy. And I would love to hear his opinion, right? And I said, just put a couple of sentences in there that will, teach me something about economy. Well, unfortunately, he never did. He never put a comment in there. Big companies don't want to make they want to make it in America, invest in America. Absolutely, Omar. You are paying attention. I'm going to tell you something. Omar, can I ask, how old are you, buddy? If you want to tell me, I want to know how old you are. Most of us are old. I think my abuelita in here is probably the oldest, though. 26. Yeah, that's what me and Trinity were guessing, and that's about what we hit. So you have an opportunity to do things that maybe I didn't do when I was your age. One of them is, I hope that you get a career with a company that offers you 401k. All right. I don't know about stocks, so I can't give you advice about stocks. But I can tell you right now, you have your 401k with a company, and then don't stop there. Put some money, a percentage of your money to a Roth. Let them invest it. Let them do what they need to do, right? But you have to learn, which is very hard. You have to learn to save money. What the hell? Miguel, bro, I can't check those text messages on the phone that I'm doing a live. I will lose the feed. This is where I wish I would have linked my phone to my laptop. Then I would have been able to see those messages on my laptop. You know what? I'm going to do that later. That's what I'm going to do. Let me see. I did want to talk about Dearborn, Michigan. Well, we'll get there. And also in Chicago. I just I want to be able to address my friends' concerns. But yeah, we don't know how long or when that's going to happen, but there is a chance that we are going to get a small check for $1,000 to $2,000. Okay. Good news, Irma. I hope now you can forgive me. I had a big issue with Charlie Kirk's quick funeral. I don't like it. I was suspicious. And I finally found out. I was talking to Miguel about this. It was between me and him. I gave him my opinion, my negative opinion, and of course my positive opinion, but my negative opinion and all these theories, okay? And I heard from a professional, what do you guys call those? What do you call the people that are in charge of the dead? Not a, is it an undertaker? No, I don't know what the hell. That was a wrestler, I know. What do you call the people that prepare the bodies? Something about the morgue, right? Okay, so what I've heard was that Charlie Kirk had a autopsy done. I'll get back to it, Cray. I'll get back. Mortician, thank you. I'll get back to it, Cray. We'll get back to Trump's tariffs and the debt. Remind me. But I want to finish this because it brings me a little bit of peace. So she was talking about the process on how it goes, this and that. Okay, so number one, you any type of testing, blood test, DNA, all this other stuff, right? That can take a while. Oh, that's Tyler. How are you, brother? God bless you. Thanks for joining. Now we got 12 people. Let's go. That means we got 12 likes from 12 people. I still don't see the 12 though. So this is all on you. Don't pick garbage. What I miss? Oh, yeah, you can have her. No, we don't need a check. We have $37 trillion. Craig, let me have your check. I'll take it. I'll take your check, Craig. But we'll get there, okay? We'll get there. Hold on. Just hang up. Hang on. We'll get there. So here's the thing. They did of course, an autopsy. They are not going to show the pictures because according to Utah law, they don't have to, unless, the family wants to. But the point is this. I thought, okay, so it has to take a long time. They got to have an autopsy. I didn't hear they did one. Well, now I know that they did. And then, okay, sweet. And then she was explaining, I saw this on Stephen Garner's show, which she was explaining it. Now, again, this is information from somebody else, but nonetheless, Tyler thought this life sucked. He was actually watching something exciting. Some protesters in Portland. Man, let me finish my story here. And then we can go back to the $37 trillion in debt. So I got peace that the autopsy was done. It was done very quick. They did the embalming, I think it's called, right? Or the coroner, yeah. They did the embalming because they have to do that before they put them in a plane. Something happens when the body's not embalmed and they put them in a plane. Something happens. So, she talked about the makeup and all this arranged. You know how it is with our dead. They put makeup on. They fix them up. They make them look as good as they can. And so. They also mentioned that the family did have a private small funeral for themselves. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it, Irma. Thank you, Irma. And so I got a little bit more peace that, that the family got their own private stuff. That's great. It takes that off my mind. I feel a lot better. And, the way that she was explaining it makes sense. Some people talk about how she was, the wife, Erica, was showing off the rings, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a crap about that. Anybody can have any explanation for that. But the fact is that she cried over him and, she said goodbye to her husband. And I believe that, like Juan Gabriel. Nah, dude, he's gone, bro. He's gone. He's gone to be with the Lord, and we all believe it. And, we are saddened, but we're also happy that every time one of us dies, if we die believing in the Lord, we find peace in that. And the scripture that I always love to say, it's on 1 Thessalonians 4:17. Now, I don't memorize scriptures to preach to people, but I love reading this one because it's one of the things that I told my mother. Thank you, Irma. Thank you, Nana. Abuelita, I love you. When I was in Honduras, and I think I mentioned this before, but First Thessalonians, Paul, I thank Paul so much for this scripture. And, when my mother was dying of cancer back in 2006, I was in California, of course, where my story comes of being homeless. I couldn't make it to the States. To the States. California is like Mexico. Anyway, I couldn't make it back to Washington. And she wanted to be buried at a cemetery, which I'm mad because my brothers, they picked the wrong cemetery. But she couldn't talk because she had cancer on her throat. And all she can do is hear. And so we had the speakerphone. And I told my mother, in my own ways, I always use my own ways to talk about stories from the Bible. And I told her, I said, Mom, I said, number one, you gave me the best advice any mother can have. I said, you gave me the love. You told me everything you said was right. You were right about everything. I mean, I want to make a hat, to my mom. She was right about everything. And, see, Trinity, that's why we love each other so much. You're like my big sister, and you comfort me, and I love that. And so I told her, I said, Mom, time for us humans, it's not the same as God's time. I said, Jesus said that he's coming. It's going to be like a blink of an eye. And I said, what that means to you is this. You see, we that are alive, we're going to blink at one point, and Jesus will come for us. You see, you're going to sleep in man's time. When you close your eyes, we are going to still be alive. We will still get older. Our time will continue. But you will enter God's time. And you are going to be instantly with him. Because when you close your eyes, the next time you open them up, and I was crying when I was saying this, you will be with God. Do you understand? Blink of an eye. And so I told her, I said, I love this scripture because it says that those who fall asleep or die believing in Christ and fighting the good fight, they will be resurrected and transformed into spirits. And those who are also alive when Jesus comes, they will also be transformed into spirits. And then we're going to see each other. And then we're going to be with God together. But you're going to get there before me. But you see, when we die, it's a blink of an eye. You won't get to see death for years. You're just going to close your eyes, and when they open right back up, you're going to be right there with us, all of us together. And I believe that. I truly, wholly believe that. And this is why I've been so, maybe some people call me stupid or, I don't know, whatever word you want to call me, because I'm not afraid of death. And I'm going to tell you something. The only thing that saddens me about death, let me read this comment here. I don't want to leave you hanging there, Liberty. Any death, regardless, is sad, and it takes a lot of power to go through. Only the Lord gives you that strength. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Tyler. Okay. I don't want to leave you guys hanging, okay, with comments. But I am just ready to go. And it's not a suicidal. You guys know my life story already. When I wanted to kill myself, it's not that feeling no more. But I'm ready to go. Anytime, I'm ready to go. And I am not sad. If my life was to end tomorrow, I am not sad. But the thought in the flesh that I think, and this is why my mother was crying, because she knew that, we're not going to see each other again here in the flesh, and we're going to go through years and years of pain, and we'll remember forever, But when I think about in my flesh, and I think about I'm not going to see my daughter do something, I'm not going to be there when she wants some advice from me, like me. Even now, as an older guy, right? Half a century old already, almost. Dad, why would you tell me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to hear it. I want to hear my father. Not everybody has one. I get it. And, I'm not going to, make it look like I'm the only guy in here. But, blessed are those that still have their fathers. 90 years old, 100 years old. Those kids are so blessed. Kids. Look, Abuelita has a 61-year-old son. Those kids, to Irma, they're kids. I'm kid for Irma. But, their love is there. And that's why. Go ahead, Irma. I know you don't like to type too much, but I get it. All right, I'll give you a chance. As a matter of fact, anybody that said I'm not afraid of dying is a fool. We all are, unless you have died before for real. You know what, Irma? I'm going to give you something, and I don't know if maybe this is any different. That's very good. Good job, Trinity. Good job, Irma. I think you might have heard my story when I was 5 years old. That there was a disease that was killing children my age. And I saw my father. And you know what? I'm glad that I started that because I don't think I finished that story. So when I was about 5 years old, a lot of kids in Honduras were dying of, I don't know what the disease, dysentery, I don't know what the disease was, but it was some type of bacteria that was kept throwing up and diarrhea, and you couldn't eat, and it's just until you die. Doctors told my mom, take your son home, spend time with your son, and that's it. Just wait for him to go, right? When I was 5 years old, I fell asleep in the house. And I mentioned a little bit this on the videos that I shared with you guys. If you remember, Trinity, I think I pointed out at the house. I was there, and I saw my father come down from the trees on a cloud. And he came, and he put my head on his lap. And he touched my stomach with 2 fingers. And he says, I want you to eat. And when he did that, I woke up. And I was so hungry. And my mother heard me crying, and she came running. She was sobbing, and she was like, what's going on? I said, I'm so hungry. And my mom said, and Trinity remembers this story because I broke down on this one. And she says, what do you want to eat? And I said, I want to eat my favorite food, right? Okay, bada bing, bada boom. Here's the end of the story that I didn't get to tell you before. I had an encounter between life and death, and God sent what we call familiar angel. Maybe it was my father, maybe it was just an angel. But here's the confirmation that I was not dreaming. The neighbor, where you guys saw the mangoes that I pointed out, of course he passed a long time ago, but the neighbor used to live in that property. And he was friends with my mother. As a matter of fact, we were all friends with him. He was such a great neighbor. We loved his name was Don Chilo. Okay? I don't know what his real name was. I just remember it was Don Chilo. And he used to make a lot of furnitures in his house. So he had like a sawmill and everything in there. Okay? So we're a great guy. He said, Lita, I want to tell you something. Give me a second, sweetheart. I will read it. Don't worry. Just let me finish up in here. And she said, Doña Lita, let me tell you something. And my mom was, yeah, sure. What's going on, Don Chilo? And he said, yesterday, he said, I saw your husband coming down from a cloud, from the mango tree. I could have sworn that I saw it, and I was not dreaming. And that was about the time that I had my experience, and I saw the same vision. And so when you hear me say that I'm not afraid of death, I feel if I take my own life, it's a sin, and I cannot forgive myself. I cannot ask for forgiveness. But if it's my time, I know where I'm going. And I only pray that Jesus Christ's mercy allows me to be up there. All right. With that being said, let me read what you said, Irma. La Irma, 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 there's Irma. Like when you undergo general anesthesia, one moment you are unconscious, and what took hours to wake up seems like a few seconds. Sort of. Sort of. Cray, you're a young man, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Look at my analogy a few lines above. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Trinity. And I'm sure that you said that to Irma as well. Liberty says, we are all afraid to be going because of those who we care for. Right? There you go. I agree with that. Just like the ones who have left us. Amen, brother. And I believe that. You know, this is why we always want, I'm not afraid of death, I am afraid of the process of dying. Of the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to happen, I agree. If you are the 12th person on here, I want to see that like up there. I'm not very pleased with the traffic that we're getting on this landscape mode, but whatever. But if you're in here, we'll appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up. I am learning, Trinity. You see that? You're teaching me right. Let's see. Ozzy is in tears of joy and sadness, mixed emotions and feelings. I get you, man. I get you. I'm glad that I'm able to control myself on that one. Now I know the 12th person is not me because I already hit like on my on my phone. ScrewTube is messing with us. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I still have fun talking with you guys. And of course, we want to get the subscribers list to go up, but we have to try to do all kinds of different testing so that we see what works better. I've noticed the browser was kind of okay on the vertical part, but it was too jittery. I think when I use my camera, not the webcam, but when I use my camera, I think that it worked okay. I didn't see the jittering going on it. And then plus, I thought that I didn't update the browser as well. Now, I went back and did the live again with the same webcam, and it did the same thing, even after I updated the browser. But it did it after a while. It didn't do it right away. With the camera that I use for my photos and video, my handheld camera, that one seemed to be okay, I think. And it wasn't too much traffic, but it was okay. It was like 10,000 people, I think it was, 10,000 views. So that's not too bad. I only see 11 on mine, so I don't know. Let's see. I will say that we are at 7,100 subscribers. Now, tonight is going to be a long night for me, so we will close this chat, but I am actually going to go live again. If you guys got to go, I understand. I thank you so much for joining me. Omar wants to go to sleep. I mean, Ozzy. Let's see. If dying is going to consist of months of suffering, would be terrible on the die as well as the family. Not as many trials as we get in the vertical streams. That's true. That's true. I noticed that too, Ozzy. Irma says, yes, I hope I go in my sleep. You and I both, brother. You and I both. 71 likes, not bad. But 71 subscribers, 7,100 subscribers, not bad. Pretty soon I'm going to need a place to send your stuff, Omar. But I will continue to do the live on vertical mode just to see if anything else happens. I miss my trolls. Those haters actually encourage me to say more things that I got to talk about. Now, I will talk about the riots on this new live that I'm about to start. You guys have been with me. Thank you so much for being with me. I know that you, Ozzy, get up very early, so I'm with you. Yeah, tomorrow, Sunday, I may not get on live. I'm going to try to take my day off, okay, on Sundays. But you know me, if I'm outside and I got some good reception, I might just be on. You never know. All right, guys, let's see. I have to continue talking about these riots from Oregon, Chicago, and Michigan. So if you guys want to get back on, I appreciate it. If not, don't worry. I want you guys to have a wonderful night. and I'll see you guys on the next time. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you later. And let's see if I can close this. Now I got to figure out how we end this live stream. All right.